What's up? I'm Austin Kohler, and here are 7 movies coming out this year that, if you haven't heard of, you're missing out. You need to put it on your calendar, get ready for them. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you the real banger, the real game-changing juggernaut of 2025. Let's get started. First up, we have The Monkey. The Monkey is a Stephen King book that Osgood Perkins has decided to adapt into a kind of like horror comedy. Honestly, Osgood is on a upward trajectory. I think he's doing good things. He's got a lot of steam behind him. And I think a horror comedy is right in his wheelhouse. We've got Theo James, Elijah Wood, and the very underrated Tatiana Maslany. It looks like the Final Destination movie that Final Destination franchise wishes that it could make. Now, I still am cautiously optimistic because I don't think that Osgood fully stuck the landing with Longlegs. And I know I'm not alone in this. I know a lot of you feel the same way. I thought that it really started out strong, but things started to fall apart as the movie progressed, and as you focused on and kind of broke apart the different details, the story just didn't make a ton of sense when you started looking at it critically. And that's why I say that this horror comedy with a book that's already been written, that already has the thing, everything kind of flushed out, I think that it is going to be really interesting, fun, and like I said, if it's not on your radar, it needs to be. Oh, and it drops on February 21st, so mark your calendars. Up next is the one and only Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17. Now, this movie was supposed to come out a bunch of different times. It was supposed to come out last year, it was supposed to come out again earlier this year, and then it got pushed back again to March 7th of this year. You got to kind of read the tea leaves a little bit when it comes to postponing to pushing something back. In the case of Mickey 17, I think that it really just came down to trying to get in a space that wasn't around a bunch of other big movies. It wanted its own space to breathe and to gain traction. The reason it's on this list is because honestly, it's Bong Joon-ho's next movie, and after Parasite, everybody's got eyes on him. Everybody's watching him, and they want to see if he's going to do as well as he did last time. I am in the minority here, and this is a hot take that a lot of you are gonna disagree with, but I know there's those of you that are quiet that agree with me, and that is that Parasite wasn't as good as everybody claims it is. I think that there is a lot of echo chambers, scared to speak up, agreeing with each other because you don't want to be different. And it is really, really good, but it's not that good. I mean, it's like one of the top rated movies ever, and I just don't think it belongs in that family, in that category at all. When you look at the best movies of all time, Parasite's just not up there for me. But I think so. What's interesting is because everybody's saying that, Mickey 17 has a lot to live up to, and can Bong Joon-ho do it again? Is his name alone going to be able to carry it? I don't know. We'll see. Robert Pattinson obviously also carries a lot of like goodwill, and so I think that people will give it a better rating because Robert's the man. I am in that camp. I think he's a great actor, and he's remade himself, and he's awesome. So keep your eyes out for it. March 7th, we'll see if Bong Joon-ho can do it again. Next up, we have The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Now, as far as game changing, what I think will happen here is I think that The Day the Earth Blew Up will kickstart a wave of 2D animated films similar to the Looney Tunes look and vibe. I think that this movie knows what it is, and it's going to nail that Looney Tune vibe. And I think that it will be the first of many Looney Tune movies. I think this is going to kickstart a whole new break off of all the different Looney Tune movies. I think that it's going to be really successful, do really well. And like I said, it's going to influence the animation of the movies that are coming after it, because I think that people are really going to be attracted to it. It's different from the current Disney Pixar vibe that we're used to getting, and it's leaning into kind of that old nostalgia that, I mean, everybody loves the nostalgia. Nostalgia sells. Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, comes out on February 28th, so mark your calendars. Next up, we have a movie directed by Flying Lotus. If you ever heard of his stuff, it's all very unique, to put it lightly, or to put it understandably. I don't know. The movie's called Ash. This is like his big directorial debut. Flying Lotus has directed a couple of other things. He did like one of the episodes in the VHS series, but like he hasn't done anything super notable. So looks like he's got some money. Looks like he's got some people on board. I'm interested to see where this goes. We've got Isa Gonzalez and Aaron Paul. Isa Crass lands on like this acid, trippy, crazy, weird planet, and Aaron Paul shows up to rescue her, and basically the story is just about them on this planet trying to escape. There's some, it says, you know, there's like psychological tears and there's physical tears, and so I think there's going to be some cool imagery. I don't like when movies get like super into like super trippy, spinny, folding in and out, all that stuff. I'm not about it, but I like things that are interesting, right? And so what I'm picturing is, if it's done how I would want it done, there will be like creatures that are like in the distance or with them or whatever that are going to be unique and creepy looking, and they're going to be cool, and they're going to be in these areas. This planet is going to look interesting and unique. You know, like I don't want something just to be trippy for trippy's sake. Like I want things to feel like they could exist and could make sense. I don't think that I'm gonna get what I want out of it, but I think there's a lot of you that will get what you want out of it. It is something to keep your eyes on. It comes out March 21st. For those of you that are interested, I think it is something to keep our eyes on, and I'm curious to see. I like some of Flying Lotus' music, and that's why this caught my eye, and so curious to see what he does with the full-blown horror movie. If you like these kinds of videos and you want me to make more and you want to see more of them, please subscribe. The channel, it only grows when people like you are kind enough to just tap that little red button, so go ahead and please do that. Next up, we have Snow White. Now, hear me out, okay? As far as like game changer, I think it will. This is more of like a hope it will, right? Be a game changer, but not a game changer how maybe you think I mean it. I want Disney to see that nobody wants this crap anymore. We don't want any more live action remake crap. I have a full, over on patreon.com, I have a full exclusive video for the members about my feelings, thoughts, and all the stuff on live action remakes. But to kind of summarize here a little bit for you guys, this is not what we want. The ratings are never good. They spark everybody's interest a little bit at first, where it's like, oh, this is kind of new. Like, what does live action look like? But now that we know that they're all garbage, that they're uninteresting, that they're changing it from the movies that did, I mean, like the movies back then, they did so well because they are good. And they kept doing well, right? They have longevity, and you can keep showing to your kids and your kids' kids, and it just keeps going because they work. They're well-made, interesting stories, and they're good movies. But the changes that they're making are not good, and we don't want to see them. So the reason this is on this list is because I feel like my eyes are on it to see, and just hoping that it's sort of like the beginning of the end of Disney being like, all right, we've got to change something. These aren't working. These are causing too much drama. These are hurting our business. These are yada yada, all the stuff, and that they can make a shift in the creative department and make some original IP, some new content, because that's what people are. We already have a Snow White, you know what I mean? We have a George. The reason it's on the list, like I said, I just think it's something we need to watch out for, and hopefully, what am I doing? This was me trying to cross my fingers. Yeah, hopefully it's the beginning of the end and the beginning of something better. March 21st is when it's supposed to come out, so I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens at the end of March. Up next is, it's the end of an era. It's kind of sad, actually, when you think about it. For me, it's kind of sad, just as like more a reminder that time is passing. The old existential time is passing thought. The movie is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Like I said, it's the end of an era. I think that Ethan Hunt is gonna die. He's gonna be killed at the end of this movie, and it's gonna be over. And unlike the many James Bonds of the past, there is only one Ethan Hunt, and his name is Tom freaking Cruise. And I think once the character's gone, he's gone. I think there's no restart, no reboot, and it's just over. So Mission Impossible has had this this impossible, successful 8-movie run. And I think that it's finally over. I also think that it's going to be the last time that we see Tom Cruise at like a 10, pushing the limits, doing everything, all of his own stunts, being crazy. I genuinely and sincerely hope that I'm wrong, because I'm a huge Tom Cruise fan. I think that he is unquestionably the action star, period. Like capital action, capital star, the action star. Like he is the guy. He has beat everybody else at it. He's amazing, and it just kind of bums me out to think that like I think this will be the last time that we see him really maxing out, going hardcore. I think everything we see him in after this will be a little more mellow, a little more relaxed. And like I said, I really do hope that I'm wrong. May 23rd is when the final Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, is supposed to release. So I'll be there at the theaters. Hopefully I'll see you there to usher in the end of really one of the best action series ever. That they're all good. It's just crazy. Up next, before we get into the last thing, the big one is Avatar: Fire and Ash. So this movie is still slated to come out this year. It's supposed to come out December 19th. And what is interesting about the third entry in the franchise is that the first movie was a phenomenon, right? Just crazy. That like new James Cameron movie. He's using all this new tech, all this stuff. Everybody's got their interests piqued, whatever. We go see it. It's a whole thing, 3D, all the stuff, right? And then there's this huge time space between the first movie and the second movie. And there's enough time. What that did is it created this moment for people to get excited again, and for new tech to be involved and to be talked about. So it's sort of like a reboot of the first one, but everybody's kind of like into the first one. So just that time in between was good. Is a good time for the second one, right? But now we have a short amount of time between the second and the third, and people are getting an idea of what this series looks like. So what's interesting about the third entry is I don't think it quite has as much build up. There's not as much new tech. Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when more information comes out about it later in this year, there will be like, oh, we're using this brand new magic camera thing. It does smell-o-vision, whatever. Maybe, doubt it. So what's interesting is, are people actually interested in Avatar? Are they interested in this world? Do they care about the characters? Are giant blue cat people what people want to see? I think that the answer to that question is yes. I think that people do want to see it, that they do want more Avatar. I think people are interested in it. They are excited in it. I mean, just talking about Mission Impossible running for 8 full films successfully, I think that, I mean, what's to say Avatar can't do the same, unless they start taking the Disney approach of just rehashing garbage, or making content people don't want to see, and involving different themes and ideas that people don't actually care about. And I think that James Cameron gets it. I think that James Cameron is here to make good movies, to make fun, interesting films that are adventures and that aren't necessarily trying to teach you some lesson. And I think that is why they will be successful, mixed with just his crazy innovation and just how crazy. I mean, he is a not a savant. What's the word? He is a auteur. You know what I mean? He's on another level as far as creativity. And so I'm excited for it, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And I think that you should be too, December 19th. Now, I've been teasing this last thing during the episode, and I think that if you think about it for just a second, you'll get it pretty quick. I don't know how you couldn't, but the only way is that maybe it's kind of throwing you off because this is a movie and TV channel, and the piece of media, the real game changer, the juggernaut of 2025, it's a video game. Grand Theft Auto 6, it will change everything. Everybody, movies, books, TV shows, I mean, like, everybody that's smart is going to distance. I mean, like, if Grand Theft Auto's here, everybody's going to kind of distance themselves and give them a really wide berth, just because Grand Theft Auto is going to suck up all the air and all the energy from everything. You're already seeing pizza. You're already seeing pieces of that already, where people that normally wouldn't talk about it are talking about it. This is an entertainment channel where I'm going to talk about video games, but like, it's just going to be it's going to break every record. It's going to be unbelievable. It's just going to be Dude, it's going to be wild. There never has, and I don't think ever will be, a media property that will do what Grand Theft Auto 6 is about to do. There's still really no one trailer is out, and that's it. I mean, it'll be interesting to see as they start to market it, what kind of happens. What people are guessing is that it's supposed to drop at the kind of fall-ish end of the year. I don't know, man, we'll see, but I mean, I'll be there for sure playing it, and it's just gonna be wild to see what it does to the entertainment industry in general, because like I said, even movies will get out of its way. I mean, just like it's going to be unbelievable. So I would be remiss and dumb if I did not throw it in a video about the game changers and the things to watch for 2025. That's it for this video. If you aren't subscribed already, go ahead and click here to get subscribed, and click here if you want to watch another video. Patreon.com/AustinKoehler is where you get ad-free and exclusive videos. This week's exclusive video, like I said, it's all about live action remakes. Specifically, I'm a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon, and so I get into and talk a little bit about my frustration with them turning it into a live action remake, and just kind of get into that in depth. So if you want to check that out, you can go over there and check it out. The tier where you're able to write into the show, it's called the collaborator tier. It's free right now, so you write into the show. I read your questions on the different shows that I make as it pertains to whatever I'm talking about. And so if you want to write in, you can do it for free right now over on patreon.com/AustinKoehler. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.